This is the Smart Beach Investor Podcast, where we explore how investors leverage real estate at the beach to live big lives and build their personal wealth. If you are an investor at the beach or you want to be, you found the right place. Enjoy today's show and be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode of the Smart Beach Investor.
So Shana here is an accountant by training.
I am.
And she does some bookkeeping on the side for me. And
fun hobbies.
Yeah, right. And it's been really great. I appreciate everything you've done for me. My books were a bit of a mess. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks are in the position that I am. I spent a lot of time figuring out how to sell real estate, how to generate business, how to do this and that. I just didn't spend enough time on my books and making sure things were tight. And it matters. Is that fair to say?
It absolutely matters.
It can save you a ton of time. It can save you a ton of money, both in IRS fines and issues there, right? Or even lost opportunity when you go to buy a property or invest or anything. You may lose out on a rate if you can't provide the necessary paperwork. Fair to say?
Absolutely.
Katie, I believe
Get organized, people.
I believe you're trying to play this game a little bit, right?
Yes, I'm starting. Just dabbling into it. But
yeah. You go to the bank, they ask you for your, your balance sheet or
oh, you mean when I was
returns?
when I was refining? I think they asked for everything. You know, you have to do your tax returns, our income. What else do they ask for about our home, our taxes that we paid on our home, everything. I mean, it's so much information. It's just like, you kind of just like, I don't want to do this anymore because it's so much and you have to dig through everything and you really do have to be organized.
It's just some housekeeping. Think of bookkeeping as housekeeping. So when you go to an investor and you're talking about loans, you want to give them, the best effort you have to get that loan approved. Just like if somebody comes to your house or you're going to have a birthday party for your kid or something, you're going to spend the whole day before cleaning your house. It's the same thing.
That's
keep
right.
It clean, keep it simple.
So true. Yeah.
My house wasn't so clean. It's pretty clean right now.
Yeah.
Thanks to Shana. Because here's the deal. You start making some money. You start doing this kind of stuff. You create an LLC. Everybody says, oh, I got to get an LLC. I got a property. I got a business. I got to get an LLC. Well, why do you need an LLC? Well, because if I ever get sued or something, they can only get what's in the LLC. They can't come after my own personal stuff. Au contraire. They can come after your personal stuff if your business LLC and your personal stuff are one and the same, which is called commingling. If you're commingling your LLC accounts with your private stuff, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. Fair to say, Shana?
That is absolutely a problem. You and all of your things are at risk if they are commingled.
So give me an example of commingling. What is commingling?
Realistic example is John Moran at the beach team has his income going into his John Moran and his wife's account together. And he is operating, his office rents are getting paid out of that account. And then his mortgage is being paid out of that account. So,
and his son's Chick-fil-A lunch is out of that account.
Chick-fil-A lunch is a definitely commingled item.
So what happens when you commingle, the IRS looks at it and says, oh, that's not cool. And they hit you up with some penalties and some whatevers. But what could be even more problematic is if there's a slip and fall in one of your properties or something might happen and a lawyer gets a hold of your stuff through discovery and sees that you're not separating business from personal, they can pierce that corporate veil quite quickly, and all those protections you thought you had in your LLC will disappear.
Yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it? I mean, commingling.
Scary.
Yeah.
That is scary.
So, question I have for you is, how do you avoid commingling?
Well, you establish the LLC first, and then once you have the LLC established, you register it with the federal government. So then you have an EIN number, which is an employer identification number. Once you have that and the LLC established, you can then go to the bank and you set up a business account through your LLC or whatever entity you have established with the federal government. Depending on the bank, you'll need a certain amount of funds to open that that account. Maybe 500, maybe 1,000. It just depends on your relationship with the bank and their policy and procedures.
Okay, so you open up your business account.
Correct.
And then you open up your personal account if you don't already have it.
Correct.
And you get 2 credit cards, one business, one personal, perhaps 2 debit cards, one personal, one business, and that's it. And anytime you go to pay for a business thing, use the credit card. And I would use the credit card, not the debit card for your business.
That's what I was just thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
On your personal side, you can have a debit card if you want, but do not go to Walmart and buy your Cheerios
Or Chick-fil-A.
or Chick-fil-A and use your business credit card. That's a bad plan.
That's commingling.
That's commingling. And I believe, because I know I do it, I can have different color cards to make it real easy on me wherever I am to pull out the necessary card. Does that sound like something right, Shana?
That makes me, as a bookkeeper, very happy. Yes.
Right? So let's talk about that. As a bookkeeper, right? You're my bookkeeper. So when you go into my accounts, right, my business account, you can quickly see what I'm buying and what do you do with that? What does that do?
So we have a system and we use QuickBooks. QuickBooks already has its own set of chart of accounts. So when John purchases something, I categorize the expense into whatever he purchased. So if he buys, let's stick to office rent. So your office rent, that'll automatically go into the office rent account as an expense.
Okay. And then whatever, right? How about gas? What does gas do?
Gas. So gas is an expense to your business. So keep it on that business credit card. And depending on what you choose, so the IRS, the federal government, gives you an allowance of if you want to deduct gas or mileage. You got to keep it consistent, though. Choose one or the other, and then keep record of it. So keep your receipts. If you do both, keep a mileage log if you decide to do mileage.
Okay. Am I putting my gas on my personal or my work card?
In your case, you put gas on personal. If you're going like from home to work and then from work to show a property, that's definitely business.
Okay.
Now, if you're taking a business trip, like you have ventured into Alabama, you put that gas on your business card. Now, if you're going from home to the beach, that's personal.
Okay. So you got to separate that out. Got it. Because most people don't have 2 cars. They don't have their beach car and then their work car, fair to say. True. But just keep track of it.
Yeah.
And how do you do it? Is there some record, some book or something? Any thoughts on that?
It can be simple. There are tons of apps out there where you can track your mileage. You can connect it to your car, and it does it for you. You just say this was personal, this was business, and you just track it like that. Or I'm old fashioned, so I just like my little journal, and I would say mileage starts here to here, and that's business personal. Here's what the mileage was.
Okay. So Katie does more of an administrative role, even though she has an LLC, because she and her husband are now an LLC.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what does she track? How is she going to track her stuff? Is it different if you're an admin?
Yes. So you're W-2'd, correct? So
correct.
then you don't receive the benefit of an LLC because you're W-2'd. So your deductions are going to be minimal. It'll be your taxes.
Yeah.
Now, since you have the LLC, your husband, Martin, is that correct? So Martin can then write that mileage off.
Because he's an agent.
But that's specifically for him, not you.
Not me.
Unfortunately, you don't get that benefit.
But you still want to track all the oil changes and all the stuff. Is that true? Or
if you want to have a personal income statement, then yes, but you don't necessarily need to. But to know where your money's going, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you're a business, if you're a real estate agent or a business owner, by all means, get an LLC, get a business account, and get a business credit card and track your miles, track your expenses. And you said QuickBooks, is that right?
I did.
Can anybody do QuickBooks? Tell me about QuickBooks.
Anybody can do QuickBooks. There's a desktop version, and then there's also a laptop version. Desktop, Only one user can have a desktop version. If you do QuickBooks laptop, you can have 15 or more QuickBooks.
Okay,
accounts.
and what's in this QuickBooks? They have the chart of accounts.
QuickBooks has the chart of accounts established, and you could subcategorize things in there very easily. But if you just wanted to start out simple and do an Excel spreadsheet, all you do is income, keep your income at the top, and then you list your expenses.
Okay, your income is your commissions that you receive.
Income is commissions. What else would be an income? A bonus or anything, like if a seller gives you a bonus for getting it sold in 30 days. Anything that you would generate from supplying a service.
And all right, so what are the standard expenses, Shana? Like what does everybody have just off the top of your head?
Everybody has some type of office, whether it be out of your house or whatever you're working on. Everybody has a cell phone, typically done for business and communicating. You have commission. You have to pay a brokerage, something, some sort of something.
Okay, so let me go back. Let's line item this. I got my phone charge.
Your phone charge, correct?
I got rent.
Correct.
I got office supplies.
You have office and then office supplies.
Office and office supplies. I like our thinking.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then
what else?
Our internet service.
You have
here.
it. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be one too.
And then if you have people that you are employing, you have salaries and bonuses for them. And by the way, if you have an LLC, you should salary yourself.
Salary yourself. Okay. Talk to your accountant about that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what else people have. Probably advertising, business cards, advertising. If you're doing
marketing,
postcards.
all the marketing that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of our services that we use.
So make sure you put that in the right category in QuickBooks.
Mm-hmm.
Daily, weekly, monthly.
Monthly. Weekly is better than monthly, but definitely monthly. You want to see where you are and keep yourself accountable to your goals. And how do you do that without tracking them?
Okay. And will QuickBooks create a balance sheet, or is that something you got to do yourself?
QuickBooks will create a balance sheet based off that chart of accounts. And the difference between a balance sheet and an income statement is your balance sheet shows your assets versus your liabilities. So if you bought a car, your car will be listed as an asset. If you financed a car, it'll be listed as an asset and a liability. And then an income statement is your revenue minus your expenses gives you your income.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And the two of them together give you a cash flow analysis. Is that fair to say?
That is beautiful to say.
We'll talk about that in the future. But when you're going for a loan, typically banks want to see your business documents, right? Your balance sheet and your income statement. Is that fair to say?
100%.
100%. So you got to be able to put that together. And when you have that, you can quickly look at it and see if you're making money or if you're losing money or how much you're making or losing.
Or if you need to change something.
If you need to change something, right? So those are good things to do. Too many people are flying by the seat of their pants, right? Just as long as I got money in my checking account, I'm fine. That's not cool. Don't do it. And is it hard? Is it hard to set this up? I mean, I'm an idiot. I have to have you do it for me. But not that I can't do it. It's just I won't do it.
Well, your accounts is much greater than the average person just getting into real estate. So if you're just getting in, no, this is the time to get your feet wet and dibble dabble with your expenses and what's coming in, and to make sure that first commission, withhold taxes from it, so put it in a business account.
So let me ask you this. In the show notes, can we put an example of a chart of accounts? Can we print one out or put it in there so folks can figure out how to do this?
Yeah, it's as simple as if you Google chart of accounts or example of chart of accounts, you'll see pictures and stuff.
We'll put one in our show notes here if you want to look at that, get you going on that. Because it's very important when you're first starting out, if you can get this stuff organized in such a way, because your accountant's going to ask for it too.
Yeah, even if you're just doing it yourself in the beginning, you want it organized so when you do pass the torch to someone like you, it's in a pretty little bow, So
seriously,
either way, you want to get going right away, I assume.
I heard a lawyer talking about corporate veils and piercing them, and he was on on the side that went after folks who were trying to hide behind an LLC, and he would just, they'd do a deposition, he said, and they'd ask for all the, show me your balance sheet, show me your chart of account, show me your expenses and all your bank accounts and all that stuff. And he said, first thing we'd look for is commingling, like we said earlier. And once they have that, I got them. I got anything they got. I can go after anything.
They can just tear the LLC apart.
The LLC is meaningless at that point.
Yeah.
So start early, be smart, get your chart of accounts, get your QuickBooks or do it on Excel. Start getting yourself organized with the business card and the personal card and just stick to that.
Create a budget.
Create a budget.
Yeah.
Create a budget. Talk about
I feel
that
like
for a minute.
that should be step one, right? Yeah.
How does one create a budget, Shana? What's your recommendation for a just young person or just starting in business? How do they walk me through the 2-minute version of a budget?
2-minute version of a budget. Okay. Do you have a goal? So if you start with a goal and then you have your goal to the side, you want to make $100,000 this year.
Okay, my income goal. How much money do I want to earn?
Right. How much do you want to earn?
You asking me?
Yeah.
100,000.
Okay, so you have 100,000. To start a budget, you need to break down, and a budget is your financial roadmap to get you to that $100,000 on December 31st.
Okay.
So what do you do? How much do you spend in each category that we just discussed? How much do you spend in rent? What does that need to be to get you to that 100,000? So you just categorize what you need to make versus what you're going to spend to get you to that goal.
Okay. Am I lost?
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, okay, so like you said, I have $100,000. Okay, my rent is, because I want a nice office, is $2,000 a month. Do I really need that nice office? Can I go to a little bit something smaller?
Right.
So I can get to that 100,000 faster, easier.
And if you need that nice office, then you may need to sell an additional property that month or, add an additional property to your already goals.
Let me see. So I'm going to create a budget. All right. And so I'm going to say I need a rent because I want an office. I need a car because I need to get there. I need some business cards because I want to hand out some stuff. I want a phone so I can talk on the phone.
You have MLS dues.
MLS fees, dues, all that stuff. Write these things down, right? And then attach a number to them. My car payment is X. My rent is X. My business cards cost this. My phone's this, right? And these are monthly charges. Almost all of them are, not all necessarily recurring, but you can dial them in pretty close to what they are. And that's going to give you, every month, it's going to cost me $10,000 to be in business. Okay. Then in theory, I want to eat, right?
Yes.
That's nice. I want to have some clothes.
Well, you still have to fund your personal
right?
life.
And I want to have a little bit of entertainment in my life.
Absolutely.
And so you write all that stuff down, and your mortgage, and my kids got to go to school, all that stuff, right? And that's going to give you another figure. Let's say it costs you $10,000 on the personal side. So you need $20,000 a month to break even. So now you look at your income side, right? How much do I got coming in? Well, it better be $20,001, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And if it's not, you're either cutting some expenses or you're increasing some revenue. Okay?
Lead with revenue.
Lead with revenue.
Don't
right?
spend what you don't have.
Good. So that's how you create a budget. You go back to your chart of accounts that you're watching. You go back to your income statement where your money's coming in. Make sure you got enough to cover those expenses. Then you take both those things to the bank and say, hey, look at me. I got a ton of money. Give me some more so I can go out and buy and have a whole bunch more. Right? So start early. Get it organized when you don't have that very many accounts. And then you'll be fine.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's a plan.
Boom. That's what we're going to do. So there you are. If you're just getting started in this game, keep it simple. Start now. Be smart. Hire a bookkeeper if you can't do it yourself like I did. And for God's sake, get yourself an accountant.
And get organized.
Yes.
The accountant's going to matter. The better your accountant, the better it's going to be. Now, not everybody can afford the best of accounting right off the bat. But as you grow in this business, you will. But everybody, every inclusive, can and should get their books straight.
Thanks for listening to the Smart Beach Investor Podcast, where we explore how investors leverage their real estate at the beach to live big lives and build their personal wealth. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode of the Smart Beach Investor.